I am especially giving thanks to my spiritual father, Kinish Hanab Pakal. I am here to do your work, and I thank you so much for your continued energetic blessings and support. Greetings, dear soul. I am Crispy, a Gaian, Mayan, Pleiadian emissary of light. Een Lak Alakim. I am another you, you are another me. We are one God-sciousness. And that's the Hunab Ku that exists within every one of us. The Hunab Ku is best described, I believe, as the one and only giver of movement and measure, the great central sun and black hole at the epicenter of the omniverse, the maker and modeler of all creation. In short, God-sciousness. Now, where was I? Oh yes, I am here today to break the code on the 42-year cycle, which mysteriously has no name, and that is so Mayan. The 52-year cycle is called the calendar round, and here's the funny thing about that. It's not 52 years. Everyone goes around saying, like, yeah, the 52-year cycle is when the Tzolk'in lines back up with the Gregorian calendar. And it does, but it's 13 days before your 52nd birthday will be your Tzolk'in birthday for every human being alive, due to some mathematical properties. Actually, I can show you here. It's quite simple, really. 52 years times 365.25 equals 18,993. And it's that 93 that should be ringing a little bell for you, because when you take off those 13 days, which, by the way, are because of leap years, there are 13 leap days every 52 years. 52, 13, right? We know this. When you take off those 13 days, you're left with 18,980. And that number, when you divide by 260, you get exactly 73. So, 52 is 73. Kinda, sorta. 52 minus 13 is 73. It's true. Now, seriously, I find it far more interesting that exactly half of human beings have their Tzolk'in birthday line up exactly on their 42nd birthday, and half of us, it's one day before we turn 42. This took me a long time to figure out. And now I'm going to break the code for you, and of course it has everything to do with the leap day. So, let's look at the math. 42 years times 365.25 days is 15,340.5 days. So, take that half a day and just tuck it behind your ear for the moment. Now, 15,340 divided by 260 is exactly 59. So, 42 is 59. 52 is 73. No, wait. 52 minus 13 is 73, and 42 is 59. Mayan math. just blows your mind. Now, let's look at the mathemagic once again. It took me a long time of plugging in dates, and I love this website to do that, mayanmagics.com, and I decided to use the very simple January 1st, 1940, because even I can add 42 years to that in my head. And it came out wrong. I mean, it didn't match up. As you can see, January 1st, 1940 is initiating deer, but January 1st, 1982 is the following Tzolk'in day, pairing star, which I like to call pairing starseed. But because 1940 is a leap year, February 29th adds the extra day. Therefore, I decided to check March 1st, 1940. Patient deer. And March 1st, 1982 is patient deer. So that day, March 1st of every leap year, starts the cycle where 42 years later will line up the exact same Tzolk'in day. And that's because, once again, 42 times 365.25 equals 15,340. It's not important. Ignore that 0.5. And 15,340 divided by 260 is exactly 59. So now I had my start period, and I was plugging in dates, and guess what I found? You guessed it, all the way up to February 28th, 1942, matching February 28th, 1984. So both of those days are the end of a 2-year cycle, where a perfect match between the Gaian birthday and the Mayan birthday. I don't like calling it your Gregorian birthday, unless you are a confirmed Gregorian. It's not your Gregorian birthday. This is not planet Gregory the 13th, okay? We are using his somewhat bizarre calendar, praying to the god of Julius Caesar every July, and praying to the god of Augustus Caesar every Augustus. And how long is a month, by the way? Oh, well, it's 28 or 29 or 30 or 31 days. And how long is a year? Well, it's 365.25. Yeah, it's actually not that, because as you can see here, their jerry-rig for that situation is every double O year is not a leap year. And even then, they're going to be off eventually, which is one of the reasons why the Maya ignore the leap year altogether. They have a 365-day year called the Hab, and there's no leap year. It's just 365. And every 4 years, that first day of the Hab precedes 1 year. And that's that. Who cares? They are intimately in tune with the solstices and the equinoxes. And of course, they are intimately in tune with the moon and Venus and the Pleiades. And of course, they're intimately in tune with human DNA. Hello, the Tzolk'in is a human DNA calendar. If you don't know that yet, watch all of my other videos. Where was I? All right. Now, February 29th, 1942 shifts things so that the following day, March 1st, 1942, does not line up with March 1st, 1984, which is another leap year. Therefore, the one extra day on the previous day was an exact match for March 1st, 1942, is resolving Gaia. But the following day, March 1st, 1984, was the next day. All right, so just a few more dates for you. So, back to the 52-year calendar round and the fact that the Maya do not use a leap year. Their New Year's Day keeps moving. Every 4 years it goes one day earlier in the calendar. And in approximately the year 1540 of our Lord, the Roman Catholic Spanish friar priest Diego de Landa noted that the Mayan New Year of the Hab, a 365-day calendar, was on July 26th. That was 480 years ago, all right? Approximately 1540. So, within a few years, it moved to July 25th. 4 years later, July 24th. 4 years later, July 23rd. 4 years later, the Mayan New Year's was July 22nd. 4 years later, the Mayan New Year's of the Hab was July 21st. Every 4 years, the Mayan New Year changes, which is how you know the Dreamspell 13 Moons Mayan calendar, no it's not, is fake. They are using Diego de Landa's chosen day, the man who personally was responsible for the torture and death of untold numbers of Mayan people, and the burning of untold numbers of Mayan codices, and the theft of untold numbers of Mayan codices. Diego de Landa stole the Mayan calendar. 450 years later, he gave it to Jose Arguelles, who created a fake persona called Pascal Votan, who never existed. There never was a human being called Pascal Votan. That word, Votan, was chosen by some other Catholics in about the year 17. The Maya never used it. The king of Palenque is Kinish Hanab Pakal. This is a likeness of him. So, Jose created a fake king, and then he called himself Valum Votan, the reincarnation of a fake Mayan king Pakal-Votan, who never existed, and mixed it into his miscreation that has the wrong birthdays for everyone, wrong names put into the Tzolk'in. There is no Skywalker, no wizard, no warrior, and no dragon. Hello, people, wake up. One of the very cool things that Jose did, though, was tell us that the Gregorian calendar is seriously detrimental to our harmonious connection with planet Earth, the natural rhythms and cycles of the galaxy. And then he permanently attached his Dreamspell 13 moon calendar to the Gregorian. The Dreamspell 13 moon calendar is the Vatican version of the Mayan calendar. The Dreamspell 13 moon calendar is the Gregorian version, permanently attached to the Gregorian. Hello? Is that little bell ringing for you now? Okay. It is a joke. It is a game. It is a wake-up call. It is a litmus test. It is a screening device. It is a veil. It's harmless, really, which is why 99% of Maya completely ignore it. They know it's a temporary... Oh, God. All right. Ooh, phew. Okay, there. Back to reality. Real time. Not fake time. Okay. Awesome. So, your 42nd birthday. Did it line up perfectly with your Tzolk'in, or were you one day before your 42nd birthday? Easy to find out right here. If you have any more questions, that's what I'm here for. I would love to help you, because I love you unconditionally, because you are another me, I am another you. We are one God-sciousness. And I forgive you unconditionally, no matter how long you followed the fart smell calendar. It's just a game. Give it up. It hooks into the ego supremely well, so to stop following it is to give up an addiction to your small self. It's that easy. Delete the app. Throw away the books and calendars. Move on. Grow up. Get real. Namaste. Greetings, dear soul. So I decided that was not the end of the video, obviously. I went down and cooked dinner for my wife and children because they were at school and doing errands. And I love cooking. And I had a nice meal with them. And then I had another mug of cacao. And, oh, there's the last little bit. Oh. I quit alcohol about 4 years ago, and cigarettes that I occasionally smoked when I drank frequently, like every day. And I quit coffee 3 years ago. And now I enjoy cacao and herbal tea. But that's not why I'm talking about this. Cacao, by the way, is a sacred beverage the Maya have drank for, let's just say, 2,600 years, but it's probably 5,200 years, since the Pleiadians came and taught them about the divine Mayan Tzolk'in calendar. It's a little bit easier to conceptualize in its circular form, which is probably how it was first taught without this super rainbow fractalized version of the Hunapku. Eventually, and we don't know when, came the grid form. Because, like we said, all the records were burnt, basically, or stolen, none of which have been returned to the Maya. Such is the reptilian way, and I need to talk about what that means. Reptilianism is a frequency, it's a vibration that any human can be trained to habitate, as it were. Locking you into the lower three chakras, cutting off access to the heart chakra. And there's fear, sexual misbehavior, and power over others, and power under. It's the dark side of humanity and the lower three chakras. That's what reptilianism is. And if we look around at our leaders, that's what we see. So, what I'm here to tell you is that the divine Mayan Tzolk'in calendar is perfectly in harmony with human DNA. And the Dreamspell 13 moon calendar is not. It makes this pattern because every leap year day it cuts itself off, which at the beginning doesn't look so bad. It has to shift over one day, and this is every 5.5 Tzolk'in, because it's 4 years. And it's always on a monkey day. Illusion, is that the word? Keyword for monkey is illusion? So it starts off just shifting the monkey day over by 1 position, and then it's over by 2, and then it's over by 3, and then it's over by 4, and it gets pretty wacky over here, and then, oh gee, it went 13, and it's back on there. But every 4 years, the dream spell falls out of step with itself. And this is why you cannot compare any two people who were born on either side of a February 29th and say, oh, look, we're the same, blah, 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 because you're not. Here, you have perfect synchronicity. If you have the same glyph as your grandfather, oh my goodness, it's real.
And if you have the same galactic signature as your mother, fake.
All of this is fake. When I found out, I was truly devastated. I had never been told it was the Dreamspell. I was taught it as the Mayan calendar, and I learned it for about 9 months. Gradually the word Dreamspell came in, but I didn't even know there was a true count. Thank you, John Major Jenkins. A traditional, a indigenous Mayan calendar. So there's an enormous amount of confusion about what the Dreamspell represents, but do not be confused, my friend. This is what it is. It is a monkey wrench. What they're trying to convince you is that every 4 years, the leap day is the most powerful thing in the universe. It is able to stop time and space. The space-time continuum, they're having you believe, can be cut and just put on pause for 24 hours. When I first began in 1998 with the system, they were teaching us that day, which was always a monkey day, was the same. February 29th was the same as February 28th. Yeah, it just repeats itself. It's the same. Yeah. And then the next day is human. After Jose died, they changed their mind. They started calling it Zero Hunabku Day. Zero God Day. That's what it would take to stop time and space. But I'm pretty sure the sun still rises every February 29th. Doesn't it? So, metaphorically speaking, it's like there's a group of people watching let's say, a musical, all right? A famous one or something. It's traditional. It's amazing. Let's say, what is it? A famous musical. All right. It's Les Miserables. It's very famous. People go in. 1,000 people go in, and they're watching. And then about 10 people go in with their own laptop computers, and they sit in the vacant seats, and they start playing a modern version of Les Mis, but a little bit off. So when everyone is laughing, they are angry because it's warrior or Skywalker or wizard or dragon day. And when everyone is crying, they're going, yay! Or it's like music, okay? Just music. Let's, I've been preparing this for about 2 hours now. So, let's take a listen. Here we have some traditional Aztec music, okay? Mayan people have been listening to this for 5,000 years, all right? All right, you with me? So, I imported that into my Logic Pro 10, and here it is. And I've muted the first track right now. Alright, so now I'll mute that one. Here's the Dreamspell, alright? Here's the Dreamspell version. It's pretty close. It's kind of techno. It's the modern dispensation. Hello. Alright? Sounds almost like the exact same thing, right? Here, let's put the original on too. Right? Wow. Oh, wait. Let's take out the original. So that's the Dreamspell, okay? They're calling themselves a... Oh, I don't know which way the zoom is. They're calling themselves a modern DJ remix. Alright? They also call themselves galactic. But the Maya say their calendar, their culture, their corn, and their cacao come from the Pleiades, and the last time I checked, the Pleiades are in the Milky Way galaxy. The Mayan Tzolk'in calendar and everything else about the Mayan culture is galactic. The Dreamspell 13 moon calendar came from Uranus. I mean his anus. Okay? It came from their anus. There's nothing galactic about it. Here's what it's like, alright? Just bear with me for 2 minutes, because I then mixed the original with the Dreamspell version with some gaps in it. Alright? So, let's listen. This is what happens if you follow the Dreamspell and the 5,135-year-old Pleiadian Mayan calendar. This is what it's like, my friends. Get ready. this is what it's like when you transcend your ego. Oh, all right. Does that stay lit in your head?